Halo Infinite follows the story of Master Chief, a pilot, well, we'll just call him Echo 216 for the time being, and a new AI companion called the Weapon, as they explore the newly found Zeta Halo ring, fight the hordes of the Banished led by Atriox and Escharum, and try to find out where Cortana is and what the Banished are up to knocking about on this ring. That's pretty much all the story I'm going to give away, as the story of Halo Infinite is actually pretty good, with some excellent missions, character moments, action set pieces, and voice acting, and some of the best, some of the best range of emotion we've ever gotten from Spartan 117, John. I mean, not real emotion, he doesn't cry or anything, but you know what I mean. But the real meat and potatoes of Halo Infinite, though, is its amazing gameplay. It takes everything that was already Halo and thrusts it into an open world setting. Well, it takes all the good parts of Halo and only keeps the sprinting from 4 and 5 and the sliding from 5. Everything else from Halo 5 has been improved, from the story, characters, music and gameplay, complete with grappling hook, which is the pièce de la résistance. Among other abilities like the drop wall for cover, the ability to dodge, the radar to be able to obviously see where enemies are. Your shield can also be upgraded too, which is a nice touch. Now, even though you can upgrade the grapple, armor and so on and so forth, doesn't mean you have to, but if you want to, you use armor cores or Spartan cores that can be found all over the map. So all those worried about if there's going to be heavy RPG elements, there isn't. You don't have to do it. There is also UNSC Marines to save, forward operating bases to capture, enemies of high value to take out, or use some very cool weapon variants. There are enemy fortresses to take down, each one with like different objectives in order to do it. And, wow, there's so much more to find, including multiplayer cosmetics for armor, weapons, and vehicles. There's also a ton of Easter eggs and hidden things scattered all over the map that isn't shown on a marker, which encourages exploration. There's even a Giganto sandwich with some grunts worshipping it, so keep an eye out for that one, as well as skulls hidden around. So this game just has so much to discover, and even just scenes of destruction, or there's just a cave which just looking around it tells a story. And it's these little touches and love that really go a long way. Now, all the usual enemies are present, including some intense boss battles. All the usual vehicles, which can be requested from FOBs, or forward operating bases, once unlocked via the campaign Valor Pass thing, sort of. It's like a weird in-game campaign battle pass, where doing the open world side stuff grants you Valor points, unlocking more gear for the Marines, more weapons, more vehicles, etc, etc. Weapons can be requested from the FOBs too, which is really cool, and each single weapon handles incredibly well, which really does add to combat variation. So I never found one gun that was like, oh, I just want to keep this one and play through the game. No, you just get to use all these different weapons. They all handle incredibly well, and I mean running out of ammo on any gun, only to then use the grappling hook to pull a banished weapon off the ground that you just killed, is incredibly badass. And then just continue on, and you can just keep on grappling weapons to yourself. You can't grapple weapons from enemies, which is a shame, I suppose, but you know, hey ho. The music is also incredibly awesome, using the original Halo soundtrack as well as great new music, and it really does add to the overwhelming sense of badassery when you start hearing the original soundtrack kick in when you're kicking ass. However, it isn't all sunshine, kittens and rainbows. Halo Infinite's launch was handled terribly by 343 and Microsoft. No pre-install and a lackluster multiplayer selection, not the gameplay of multiplayer, but the overall way it's implemented. But they are working on it, like this week, finally adding in separate playlists for Slayer, SWAT, which is now Tactical Slayer, Fiesta, and so on. And the frames did drop during cutscenes. I played on an Xbox Series S, and the gameplay is phenomenal. Solid frame rate, no crashes whatsoever. There is a few funny bugs or glitches that I managed to find, but nothing game-breaking whatsoever, and they were very, very few and far in between. And if anything, the game could have been a bit longer, but what is there is plenty of content and so much fun. I mean, if you're looking around to do everything, you're probably looking near around 20 hours, which is incredibly cool for a Halo game. And this is meant to be a platform where we're going to be having DLC for single player and multiplayer for 10 years, apparently. And of course, there is no co-op and Forge at launch, and when co-op does drop for this game, it's going to be so much fun. Halo Infinite is awesome single player. I imagine it's 10 times better playing it with a friend. But look, I don't want to make my review too long, but all I will say is that Halo 5 caused me to go on not only a Halo hiatus, but also an Xbox one. It put me over to PlayStation 4. But since returning to Xbox this year and enjoying what the Master Chief Collection is now and playing through Halo Infinite, I am back on that gravy train. Halo Infinite is not only my game of the year, and is one of the best first-person shooter games I've played in a long time, it's now, personally, one of my favourite Halos, and who knows, maybe, given some more time, now my favourite one. So, Halo Infinite gets a 9 out of 10 from me. If it had co-op and Forge and the multiplayer was just a little bit better thought out and wasn't so, free to play-ish, then it's an easy 10 out of 10. But thank you very much for watching this review. I hope it helped, and if you have Game Pass, Xbox or PC, just get on and get involved. I don't know why you haven't already. But thank you very much for watching, and until next time.
Even after all they've endured, these Marines just won't give up. Neither will we.